So we've got some case updates and a new story. So first, if you've not already subscribed to the channel, please do so. It's free, doesn't cost anything. And if you're new, welcome. Please subscribe. If you have come back, welcome back. Thank you again for the support. And I guess let's get into what we're going to get into. So on Sunday, May 18th, there was an attempted kidnapping in Jamestown, North Carolina. Jamestown's a very, very small little area, suburban area in the Greensboro, High Point, and Winston-Salem area. So 16-year-old girl was walking when a car pulled up and a young man popped out, grabbed her, forced her into the car, and forced himself on her. Only way she was able to get out and get out of the situation was he was trying to get out of there fast. He made a mistake and plowed right into a brick mailbox, which stopped him, which brought all the neighbors out, which somebody got the idea there was something wrong and called the police. So this young man has been arrested. He has been charged with, let's see here, first-degree kidnapping, assault on a female, interference with emergency communication, and sexual battery, because he also tried to keep her from taking her cell phone, using her phone to call for help. And the sexual battery comes into play where he tried to force a kiss on her and she didn't want. So that's where that came from. So this guy, his name is Trenton Riley. He's 18 years old. He is 6'3", 145 pounds, black young man, and just looks so very, very sad. Let me tell you, so very sad. Let me show you a picture of him. Let's see. Because when I saw him, I'm like, oh my God, who's beating up on a 5-year-old? Because that's just the vibe he's giving. Let's see, here he is. This is Trenton Riley. I don't know if you can see that, with the glare, but that is Trenton Riley, 18 years old. Now, I looked him up. Kid has no previous criminal history unless it's juvenile, which is not going to show up really in the databases that I look up. So did he or did he not go out with a bang? Hey, I'm going to kidnap someone. And he reportedly told the police that he was trying to keep her for a sex slave. So, hello. Yeah, crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let's see, I was on live earlier today. We had an update on the case of the human remains found in the trunk of a car in Lexington, North Carolina at the salvage yard. That one, we actually have a name. Hmm. But oh, you subscribe? Thanks, Cap. Okay, so the body, this is interesting because I looked this up earlier. It was a Lee Anthony, oh my, I always say his name wrong. Let me make sure I get this correct. Oh my God, it's Fernberger. Goodness gracious, I'm awful at this. Let me see. Bear with me just a moment while I pull up the article. I have my people that follow me around and send me stuff. Lee Anthony Funderburk. That is his name, Lee Anthony Funderburk. So here are the things about Lee Anthony Funderburk. He has been missing since he was reported missing May 31st, 2016. He was last seen in March 2016. So, which is crazy. But let's go back to what I reported on last week. So a car was brought into a salvage yard in Lexington, North Carolina. The employees there were going through the car, checking it out, and then found human remains in the trunk of the car. Skeletal remains, as we're now finding out. Now, those remains were sent to Raleigh to the office of the medical examiner. And that person, the medical examiner, has come back with a manner of death of homicide. Yes. So this person has been unalived by someone else. Now, the car in question was not even his car. The car was registered to his mother, a Maddie Mae Funderburk. Now, whether she's dead or alive, that I do not know. But when I did look up Lee Anthony Funderburk in the in the North Carolina e-court system, he has a pretty extensive criminal past. Uh, and the whole case itself, I mean, I know they're saying it's homicide. Let's see, what's this? Oh, thank you, Madison. So, so I looked him up. He has a pretty extensive past, and the whole situation where he's been found in the trunk of a car skeletonized, I truly believe he it's personal. He has a history of domestic violence, assault on women, menacing, communicating threats, these kind of things. So I truly believe that this was either probably a relative of a woman he had done wrong and they got revenge. It just feels revenge like to me. But like I said, the car was registered to his mother. And like I said, I don't know if she's still alive or not. But the case has been referred back to Charlotte because the car was brought in from Charlotte to Lexington to be destroyed. And because the way the investigation's looking, he was unalived in Charlotte. So they've sent it back to Charlotte. So that's where we're at on that. But let's get back to the whole kidnapping scenario. So, like I said, a 16-year-old girl was almost kidnapped on Sunday in Jamestown, North Carolina. The person who took her was a guy named Trenton Riley. He's an 18-year-old man that has no criminal past. I mean, literally nothing. And he went from having nothing to escalating up to attempted rape and assault and kidnapping. Like, how do you do that? You know? I mean, I'm sure he's got victims elsewhere that, we don't know about, but based on the paperwork out there, there is nothing on this guy. And he just looks so sad, in his mugshot, like somebody's just picking on him or something. I don't know. It just looks really bad. And which brought up another situation because there was a guy who posted a few days ago on social media, a guy by the name of, what was his name? Something, Jordan Evans. And I'm going to read what he wrote because apparently people are just grabbing people. I mean, based off these reports. So he posted, there have been 3 women reported missing in Greensboro, North Carolina this week alone. You guys cannot tell me that the situation I was in was not connected. The world is getting crazy. I pray that all 3 are found safely and in perfect health. Now, I did ask him because, like, who are these 3 women? Because I know nothing about this, you know? And he just, he didn't know. He just said he had heard about it from somebody else. So this is what happened to him. He refers to, you can't sit there and tell me that my situation was not the same, involved or connected. This is what happened to him. I'm gonna put my glasses on. I'm gonna look like an old lady. I apologize, but I can't see anymore. Uh, so on May 18th, Jordan Evans posted this. It says, "This is a PSA to everyone. So I went out by myself to Chemistry Nightclub in Greensboro tonight to meet some friends. Now, for those of you who don't know what Chemistry Nightclub is, it is a um, I'm not sure what the PC word is. It's a gay club. They do a lot of drag shows. Love the place. Been there multiple times. Anyway, he went there to meet some friends on looks like May 17th. As I'm getting in my car to go home, I noticed the car beside me has their car door open. I wanted to check to see if they dinged my door, drunk people. So I get in my car and move to the side of the Papa John's building so I didn't look like a dick. As I move my car and get out to inspect my passenger door, a dark blue 2014-ish Nissan Rogue pulls up beside me. There are 2 parking spaces between the Rogue and my car. As I'm inspecting for damage, the older man rolls his window down and says, "Hello, I'm from Dubai." I then reply with, "Hey, that's cool." Then he goes on to ask me something that I can't make out. I get an eerie feeling and decide to walk back around to the back of my car to get in. He continues to repeat, "Hello, I'm from Dubai." I start to rush to my driver's door, and this man opens his door and starts to get out. By the time I open my car door, this man is full sprinting to my driver's door. I slam the door, lock it, and he tries opening my door. Still saying I'm from Dubai. I spin tires leaving the place, going 16 to 35 to lose sight of the club. I go on down the road, and then a Nissan Rogue flies up on my niece's ass out of nowhere. I then floor it, and I'm now going almost 80 miles an hour at 45. He continues to speed up, and he then turns off when he notices I'm heading to the police station near my work. You guys need to be very careful, very mindful, and aware when you are out. Please do not go anywhere alone at night. Always have someone there with you or meeting you at said place. Who knows what would have happened to me if I hadn't locked my door at that exact moment. I think I'll be staying home for a while after that. Again, just a PSA. Please, please make sure you are self aware and always watch your surroundings. He's not wrong. The amount of people that have gone missing in the Greensboro, High Point, Winston-Salem area. I mean, forget Charlotte, forget Raleigh, because I mean, that's like over an hour away. But we're talking just here alone. It is unbelievable. I mean, we still have Marissa Carmichael, who's still missing, who went missing January 14th, 2024. Tiara Cacique Williams, who went missing in 2016. Those are older cases that come up, but it's hard to understand how every time I'm looking on Facebook or on social media, somebody has gone missing and it's been somebody local, and it's been a lot. Now, some of these people are coming back. Some of them are teenage kids. They wander off and they want to do their own adult thing. And they're like, yeah, I'm a grown up. I'm going to do what I want to do. That does happen. But it's not the case for every single time, because my thing is, okay, yeah, maybe 3 times they ran off because they want to be grown. But that fourth time could be the time someone grabs them and you don't ever see them again. And I think police departments are running on the side of, oh, they'll be back. You don't know that. You don't. And if you don't look, you'll never know what's going on. So that's my stance on that. But this guy, this Jordan Evans, I mean, he's lucky that he didn't get grabbed, because anybody can get grabbed. We had a situation where people were missing coming out of a Walmart and High Point. I believe it was the High Point one. And my oldest daughter was worried about me getting kidnapped. I was like, really? I'm a little old for that. But she still had concerns. I mean, the sex trafficking area issue in North Carolina is pretty strong. I mean, I think women are getting taken here and going up to Charlotte, out to the coast, whatever. I do believe that is an issue here. And we have more and more women missing, mostly young women missing all the time. And it's scary as all get out. And I can't stress more than anything, please be careful. Please have a buddy. Do the buddy system like Girl Scouts. You didn't go to the bathroom by yourself. You didn't go hiking by yourself. You shouldn't go out by yourself. And that is the sad, sad world we live in today. It really is. Um, you were finding skeletal remains in abandoned cars, and now people are disappearing left and right. I'm not sure what else to say about this, but it is happening. And I can tell you, I've had situations where, I mean, granted, I'm not 20 years old, but it does happen. You get approached by people and you get the heebie jeebies. You don't know what it is that they're wanting out of you, you know? Um, and like I said, I worry about all these young women that are running around downtown Greensboro trying to look exotic, trying to look enticing. And it's like, what are you trying to entice to yourself? Like you know what you want, but it may not be what you get. And you just got to be careful. You really do, because anything can happen. And that's the mom in me on my soapbox saying, be careful. So, oh, the Diddy case, updates in that. So many people have been testifying. They've been talking to a lot of the sex workers that they brought in for these freak offs. And that's been interesting to see. And, Cassie Ventura was on the stand for like 3 or 4 days straight. But I don't think she really gave anything too compelling, other than the fact that she was used a lot. And it's a sad situation what happened with her. I mean, I feel for her. Being an abused situation, like I was in one. She is in a very extreme. Her situation was very, very extreme. And what I don't understand is how she couldn't get away from him, because when they released that full 15-minute video of the beatdown at that hotel, she had ample opportunity to run down the stairs of the hotel and get away from him, and she didn't do it. And I don't understand. I don't know if that follows under battered woman syndrome or Stockholm syndrome, any something like that. Maybe that's why she didn't do it, because that's what got me. Because people have asked me why I didn't leave my situation, because I was in my situation for over 20 years. And my stance was I didn't leave because it just would have been very hard to do so. Because when I married him, my late husband, um, I already had one child when I married him, and then we had two more. And then my mother came to live with us, and she was very ill. So when abuse was the worst with him, there was just no way for me to get away and take everybody with me to get away. And that's what kept me tied to him. The children, my mother, the marriage, I was just stuck. I was like trapped. And I did not get untrapped until he died. And that was been almost 3 years ago. And I just didn't see a way out. I just didn't. But with Cassie Ventura, she didn't have those ties. They weren't living together. They weren't married. They didn't have any children together. So I don't understand how she felt trapped by him, unless, of course, and this did come out when her mother testified. Her mother testified that she had taken out a home equity loan on her house for $20,000 because Diddy was threatening to release these very graphic videos that he had taken of Cassie during these freak offs. And she had, taken out $20,000 and offered to pay him for these videos. Now that can get him in trouble because up until this point, I was having a hard time connecting any of the physical abuse he was doing to her to the racketeering charge. But that part where he was demanding money, and not so much demand, well, threatening to do basically revenge porn, that kind of qualifies. So we'll wait and see how that goes. Um, but I think now, since they had her in the beginning telling her entire saga for 4 days, everybody they're bringing out after her, it's basically building on top of what she's already said, corroborating what she's already said, but then there's other aspects that are coming into play here. So I don't know if he'll be found guilty per se. I'd like to think he would be. I mean, I think he's a deplorable human being, because he is the stuff he's into is just next level. And but it's not illegal, it's not illegal. But if he held anybody against their will, if he told somebody you can't leave until I tell you can leave, that's illegal as well. But you have to prove that, and I don't know how they would go about proving that. Um, yeah, I mean it's crazy. So we've got more people being openly trying to be taken in the area, and Diddy is a perv. So that is the moral of the story today. Diddy's a perv, and people are missing. So I'm gonna hop on here. I'm gonna try to do this every day now because why not? And we got to get these people found because like every time they find somebody and it's not Marissa Carmichael, people that I'm friends with that help investigate this with me, we all get very disappointed because that is a case that is very bothersome. And you've heard my theory on it. I think the ex baby daddy, the father of the four youngest kids, I think they're the ones who did it, or he's the one who did it, who made her disappear. Um, that's my thought. The evidence, even though it's circumstantial at best, there's a pattern of behavior that speaks to why I think that. But who knows? I don't know if she'll ever be found. For her kids' sake, I hope she is so they can have closure. I just pray to God that if she is alive, um, she comes back one day and tells them, this is why I left. Because you're hearing about cases here and there, people who went missing and they've been gone for 40 years and then they get found going, oh, I'm fine. I just didn't want to be there anymore. But then they walk and leave their kids. And that's a situation that's true because every woman, every case that's come up like that, when it's a woman that's gone missing, it's been because of some domestic violence DV situation. And it was easier for them to leave, but they didn't take the kids. And I don't know if I could have done that, if I could have left my abuser and leave my children behind. Because how do you know that they're not going to get abused in the manner that you did? You don't know. So, you know, in my situation, when he would get mad at the kids, he'd take it out on me. So they want him hurting them. So he took it out on me, and that's something I wear the scars of that for the rest of my life. So, ah, yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna hop off here. So yes, we have an identity on the body that was found in the trunk of the car. Diddy's a perv, and people keep going missing. Please, everyone out there, be careful. Keep your head on a swivel and try not to be out alone because you never know who's watching. So everybody have a good night. And again, thank you for tuning in. And if you have not already subscribed, please do so. Please share, please like, and please comment if you have a comment. And as I always say, be weird, be rude, be safe. Because if you're weird and rude, they won't take you. I promise. So it's Rebecca with Red True Crime. I'm out. Have a good night, all.